What's up, guys? I've got a pretty exciting video coming up for you here. I got my hands on a new Pokemon to the game, Jellicent, long-awaited Pokemon. It was supposed to be very good in PvP. Unfortunately, they nerfed Bubble right as they brought Jellicent in, but still great typing, great stats, decent moveset. Has some great matchups in the meta. I wanted to try and find a way to use it, and Jellicent's typing with the ghost typing has always been something I've wanted to pair with something with a fighting weakness. Fits perfect with Abomasnow, and so does Azumarill. So I went back with the old team. I think you saw my team about Rainy Cast Form. There's been plenty of other teams with Abomasnow and Azu in them, but I do think Jellicent is a really good fit. This team got me 3-5-0s out of 4 sets. I saved a bank set for streaming today. If you guys want to check me out on Twitch later, the link will be in the description. But yeah, first of all, huge shout out to all my Patreon supporters as well as we get right into this gameplay video. So let's talk a little bit about this team before we go ahead. You guys know all about Abomasnow and Azumarill and how they work so well together, right? They cover each other almost perfectly. Jellicent is almost the same thing. I'm using Jellicent as my safe swap here. With Hex, Shadow Ball, and Ice Beam, it hits things that come in on it a lot harder than they would expect. Versus this Hypno, I'm throwing a Weather Ball, and then I'm trying to catch a Fire Punch on Jellicent. Hopefully they're not baiting with Thunder Punch, otherwise I run into some issues. But they do come in with the Fire Punch, and they swap to Venusaur. So Venusaur is somewhat of a hard counter to the back line. So it's great that I'm drawing it out here, and look how much damage that Ice Beam does. So, depending on the IVs, sometimes I can even go back for switch advantage. In this game, I decided to do that just to test it out. This is my first ever game with Jellicent. I don't really know the matchups that well. Figured it was worth it because not only do I get switch advantage, but I'm able to build up to a charge move just by farming down that Hypno. And look how much damage that Shadow Ball does. Those hexes add up too. Hex Jellicent, or this version of Jellicent, is very strong versus Azumarill. So I guess as we see this game play out, I'll talk a little bit about the move sets and the team building and stuff like that first. So standard move sets on Abomasnow, of course, this is really the only move set you can run. On Jellicent, you have a couple options. There's Bubble to deal better with Bastiodon. There's Bubble Beam as well to deal better with Bastiodon and those other and Galarian Stunfisk and stuff like that. But as the safe switch, I'm running Hex, Shadow Ball, and Ice Beam. This is because I'm trying to hit hard what will come in and attack Jellicent, right? So Shadow Ball and Ice Beam both, well, Shadow Ball especially hits it incredibly hard. Ice Beam, not as much, but it provides great coverage versus grass and those dark types that you're going to have to hit that might come in on you. And both of them, instead of choosing Bubble Beam, are extremely hard hitting, so they'll force shields. This team is much better with shields down, and you're going to see a lot of the time in these videos, in the games where I consider I played well, I'm going to be farming down everything, like just taking a huge energy advantage on Abomasnow and applying that to shieldless Pokemon. And the reason a lot of the times that they are shieldless is because Jellicent and is able to take down shields. Now let's take a look at Azumarill's moveset. Because it's the closer, I'm running Play Rough and Hydro Pump on it. Ideally, it should never face a grass type on this team. I do swap it in sometimes, but I haven't been caught by a grass type in those cases anyways. And same thing, right? Like, just get out those huge charge moves, force some shields with a Hydro Pump, it doesn't really matter. Like, if they shield, that's fine, right? Like, you got a shield, you're going to hit something hard with the Shadow Ball or just a bunch of Weather Balls anyways. But that's the team. Main team building weakness here is if they're running a dark type not in the lead, Jellicent swap in is going to draw that out, and unfortunately, otherwise that dark Pokemon probably wouldn't have any play. But yeah, we'll get back into this video. This is the second game. Not running Hydro Pump in this. Like, if you notice, I've been talking about these movesets, but look at the Azumarill. I'm running Ice Beam here, so I had forgotten to TM my Azumarill at this point in time, and it almost cost me this game. So we're gonna see me go ahead and remove Ice Beam, I think, after this game. Yeah, it was the last straw right there. I think the first game Azumarill didn't really even have to come in after I took out that Venusaur. So yeah, get rid of that Ice Beam, put on Play Rough, Hydro Pump. Those are your two same type attack bonus moves anyways, and we'll see how the gameplay goes. So we have a Swampert lead here. I try and fast move deny, but unfortunately I CMP tie their Sludge Wave, which ends up being a Hydro Cannon. So because I shield this, I realize I'm a little bit behind now. I go for the Energy Ball, and I think they call the bait, but I think that's perfectly fine with me. They swap in Drifblim, and this is a really weird swap because Abomasnow, especially with an energy lead like I had, and you're going to hear me say that a lot, energy lead, absolutely stomps Drifblim. I've already used a shield, but that's okay. I don't mind using another shield. They're probably just going to go straight Shadow Ball. They want to eliminate this Abomasnow, and I'm going to take out this Drifblim. Look how much I'm charging up over, though, right? Like, I'm not just throwing as soon as I can, because I need that energy later on in the match. I know they're probably going to come back into Swampert, so I'm going to instant swap to Jellicent to catch that Hydro Cannon. This is going to do almost nothing. Look at that. And they're going to bring back in Venusaur. So this is the reason that they brought in the Drifblim in the first place. It's because it was their other best answer for Abomasnow, and in this case, I'm going to be able to take out this Venusaur, no problem. And Venusaur is terrible for this backline, right? So that's why at least at some point in the game you have to switch. In this game, I was considering switching to try and catch a Sludge Wave on Jellicent, but I mistimed my moves a little bit on Abomasnow. But another Swampert lead, so we'll get to try and practice this, except they swap out into Skarmory. So Skarmory versus Shadow Abomasnow is honestly, in the one shield, is Shadow Abomasnow favorite. Look how much damage those Weather Balls do. But I swap out after throwing one. In hindsight, you're going to see me play this matchup differently. I've realized that if I throw a Weather Ball, then Shadow Ball is overkill, right? So you're going to see the Shadow Ball easily take out this Skarmory. If I just save that energy on Abomasnow instead, like charge up to Weather Ball and swapped out, I'd be in a much better position this game because they have a Galvantula come out. So this is why you swap, right? Now their best water type counter comes out against Jellicent. They let the Shadow Ball through, which is insane. I guess they're probably thinking I'm running Bubble Beam. But that nearly takes out the Galv, and I'm going to be able to farm it down pretty easily on the Abomasnow unless they swap out. In this case, I don't even charge up to the Energy Ball. They have two shields, and Weather Ball absolutely chunks, so I'm going to try and catch the Sludge Wave. As funny as that sounds on Azumarill, I just want them to empty their energy. I know Abomasnow can carry this game for me if I'm able to get rid of this Swampert's energy that they've stored up, and they're forced to throw a Sludge Wave here as I've just hit that Play Rough, and they don't want to spend a shield. So I'm going to charge up 4 or 5 more, so I don't mind if I take a Hydro Cannon. The problem is if I take a Sludge Wave. So they shield, and I'm already at the second Weather Ball. I don't want them to get to that all-important Sludge Wave, and they actually make a great catch there on the Galvantula. But it's not going to be enough. Abomasnow is going to be able to take out Swampert with yet another Weather Ball. So this is that's a product of just farming up as much as you can. I would have even been in a much better position had I not thrown that original Weather Ball at Skarmory in the first place. So we're going to see an Alolan Marowak lead. This is not a good lead, right? So we're going to swap right into Jellicent. This version of Jellicent doesn't actually beat Marowak that badly, but they're going to swap into Meganium. And this Ice Beam is going to get shielded, which is a pretty good scenario for me. I'm really happy. Not only did it get shielded, but it's a CMP tie. Frenzy Plant will one-shot by Jellicent, and I'm going to go back in with Shadow Abomasnow. And look what I do here. I'm not going to try and throw a Weather Ball as soon as I get to it, right? I'm going to tank this Frenzy Plant because I know that Alolan Marowak is going to absolutely shred anyways. So let's just charge all the way up, go for this Weather Ball right before they get to their next Frenzy Plant. And Alolan Marowak's obviously coming back in, so we're going to swap into Azu. Luckily in the back, they don't have another grass type, so looks like this is a team building win here, right? We baited out their grass type Meganium, we took it out, and now we have Azumarill versus Machamp, and they actually let the Play Rough through. I think their only chance was that if I wasn't running Play Rough and it was an Ice Beam. But now it's Azumarill versus Alolan Marowak, and there's no way I'm running Play Rough Hydro Pump, right? Wrong. Okay, so that's why you run Hydro Pump as well. If you don't, you have a really tough time with Alolan Marowak, especially if Jellicent is running this moveset as well. You just have two water types without really any water moves. You're going to run into some issues. But this is the first set I ever played with this team. I picked it up 5-0. Honestly, Jellicent played better than I expected. It hit Venusaur much harder than I thought it would, and was able to flip a switch advantage there, which is very huge. Same with the hit on Galv. Those are things that I don't think Azumarill in the safe switch position could have really pulled off. But I do still think that the real star of this team is Shadow Abomasnow, and the most important part of this team is managing your energy and health on Shadow Abomasnow. And if you can master that, then you'll be winning a ton of games. So in this matchup, I stay in for a little bit. I actually was planning on trying to catch the Weather Ball, because even though it doesn't hit very hard, it hits a lot harder on Abomasnow than it does on Jellicent. So I'm going to throw that Weather Ball, get it through, and then swap out to Jellicent. So they swap in Galarian Stunfisk. This is a bit weird. I wouldn't have expected Galarian Stunfisk to come in on a water type, but maybe it's the best answer they had, which is honestly a good sign for me. They're just throwing Rock Slides. I've seen a lot of people do this recently. Even after the Rock Slide nerf, people are just throwing mass Rock Slides. And honestly, this makes me think that if you're throwing mass Rock Slides instead of your same type of attack bonus Earthquake, Rock Slide maybe it was not nerfed enough. Like the move is too strong, especially on a Pokemon with Mud Shot. But I'm able to take it out, and in comes Ferrothorn. So that was a really good catch by my opponent. Well, I didn't even get to throw it, so I can't call it a catch, but I'm just going to come in, and this is the name of the game, right? Farm down. I'll take a Weather Ball. It doesn't really matter. I just need as much energy as possible to deal with the rest of their team. So Ferrothorn comes out. Obviously, I'm not going to shield anything on Azu. I need all my shields for Abomasnow, because this game is all about energy management, right? So I have a lot of energy banked already, but I need even more. I need to time my charge moves properly, so I'm not letting them get any extra through, because I'm not going to get KO'd by Bullet Seeds. It's going to be Power Whip. So I throw one to the Weather Ball. It lags quite a bit, but it doesn't look like my opponent got any fast moves in. And I just need one more to the next one. So that's just charge move timing there, winning me a game that I otherwise probably would have lost. Because if I get farmed down by Bullet Seeds there, they have another Power Whip and are going to be able to take out that Azumarill before I get to another move. So this matchup is versus I Play Tennis Lol, extremely talented player. We've played a lot. I know he's very good. I would have considered trying to catch a Weather Ball, but I know he's not going to catch at 5. So I overcharge a little bit. And once I'm pretty sure he's not going to catch, I go for my own Weather Ball. And then I'm going to try and catch his. So throw one more. And I feel like I won the mind game here slightly. So I catch the Weather Ball on Jellicent, which is pretty huge. But unfortunately, he's going to mind game me back, I think, if I remember correctly, with a bait of his own that I shield. But he brings Azu in. So Abomasnow, Azu, pretty common. I'm very happy that they didn't have something like Sableye. That would have been very bad in this situation. But with the Azu, like, you can only tank one Shadow Ball. I'm either going to win Switch or Shield advantage here. I'm fine with either. I probably should have charged up a little more. There's a bit of a poor play by me, but that's okay because it doesn't KO anyways. And I'm going to end this matchup with an absolute ton of energy. So Abomasnow is going to come back in. And yeah, they have to shield the Shadow Ball. And unfortunately, I don't quite get to that other Shadow Ball. So I probably should have swapped. I'm going to have to shield this Weather Ball up, and I'll make it to the next Weather Ball before they do. I'm not sure if that was a CMP tie win or not. It's not like, okay, take a look at the IVs of these Pokemon too. None of them are very good at all. Yeah, especially my Azumarill, it's absolutely awful. You don't really, like, IVs do matter at a certain point, and you're going to squeak out some more wins because of them, but you can get 5-0s all day with solid team building over IVs. So let that just be a lesson. I don't want to bait anyone or force them into spending dust on Pokemon that they're not going to keep forever. But this Jellicent, the reason I powered it up is because it will eventually be an Ultra League Jellicent in like 7 years when I have enough XL candy to do so. So the swap here, I was trying to catch a Blizzard. I don't actually know the count on Blizzard, so it was kind of just by feel, and obviously it didn't work. So let that be a lesson as well. Do your research, figure out how many moves it is. They're gonna swap it to Clefable. At this point, I'm kind of worried it's like a multiple Charmer team, just because I can't exert that much pressure. But I'm gonna come back in with Abomasnow, try and get as much energy as possible while not taking too much damage. And like I mentioned, farming down, but it's very hard to farm down a Pokemon with Charm. But we're going to try it anyways. Sorry about that. I'll shield the Moonblast, and unfortunately I get this attack fell, but fortunately that also means I get more farm, right? So Skarmory comes in, and they make a fantastic sack swap onto their Whiscash, who's extremely low, to tank that Hydro Pump, and I'm in a bit of trouble here. So I end up spending this shield on a Sky Attack. I was not sure if I would live it. It would be very close, but I really wanted to get this Hydro Pump off, even if it was debuffed. I was actually planning on switching out, but my switch timer wasn't up yet, so that's why I threw the Hydro Pump. But this Weather Ball should be enough to take out Skarmory. And we're going to get that win as well, despite some pretty poor play from my part and some pretty excellent play from my opponent's part, where they were able to... Yeah, that was a really good sack swap. I can't believe that. They swapped in, threw a move, and then swapped out. Very impressive. So Politoed lead, this Pokemon is really, honestly, really good. So Sableye comes out, and you can see I'm farming up as much as I can. And I'm going to catch that foul play on Azu. So now my Abomasnow has a ton of energy, and this puts me in a really good position. Unfortunately, I think I misplay this. I really should have thrown my player off earlier, but they're going to go for the return, and I decide to not shield it. Honestly, especially after I caught the foul play, shielding the return is pretty necessary to win back switch advantage, and unfortunately, I'm going to get farmed down myself. So, something I learned is that Sableye actually beats Abomasnow in CMP. This is very unfortunate for me. I try and undercharge, but I don't do it nearly enough. And they're going to come in with Skarmory again. I'm going to charge up, throw a Weather Ball, start exerting some pressure. Because I know they have a Politoed in the back too. And then I swap to bring out their Politoed, which is honestly a better situation for me, in my opinion, just because Jellicent kind of resists everything that Politoed has unless it's running Earthquake, and then if it is, it's not the same type of attack bonus. It hits pretty hard, but it's not like end of the world or anything. And I feel like this will just be a Weather Ball, right? So I'm going to be able to get this Shadow Ball off. It's going to be able to deal a ton of damage. We're going to try and farm each other down. Mudshot versus Hex. Who wins? Nobody. Nobody wins. Oh, what a boring farm down. But I'm going to be able to get to this Weather Ball. And I was at it for a while. I just wanted to get some extra damage and time my fast moves properly. Just in case it wouldn't be enough damage. But probably unnecessary and probably just needlessly risky. But we'll take it. As this team has been absolutely rolling. And... Jellicent has been doing a lot of work soaking up moves. We're going to see a fantastic lead here, but they're going to come into Hypno, so I make a mistake here. Thinking that Jellicent is a ghost type, that I can beat Hypno. No, I cannot beat Hypno. The Hypno outpaces you to Thunder Punches, and despite Shadow Ball being a one-shot, with the confusion damage, they can just force the win in the 2-shield. So... This is where you learn a matchup, right? In GBL. We're going to trade shields. And the thing is, even though I'm going to lose this matchup, shields down benefits my team, I think, much more than it benefits their team. Not because I know what their team is, but because I know my team is probably the one that benefits the most. So I'm going to charge up an absolute ton beforehand. I have a lot of energy now, and I'm going to finish this Hypno off before I get to a move, just because I'm not sure if I can catch on the Azu. And in comes Skarmory. I'm charging up, and I'm going to go into Azu. I want to catch them a little bit off guard, and they actually stay in, which is greatly beneficial to me. I just want to get to the Hydro Pump so that this Stunfisk can't come in. And the Stunfisk charged up a decent amount. It's probably almost at discharge, but I'm going to get the Hydro Pump off first, which is very important, because this is going to allow me to not have to throw a charge move at it with Abomasnow. So remember when we were talking about farming down? Yeah, don't panic. Finish them off. We have a ton of energy. So I'm going to throw a fast move, then throw a Weather Ball. I'm going to have to throw another one here. So now I'm at 2 Weather Balls. And I'll have another Weather Ball right after this to finish them off, even if they weren't fainted. Yeah, so just manage your energy properly. I feel like I've said this 100 times already. But yeah, Abomasnow is one of those Pokemon. It's like Shiftry, right? If you can keep and manage your energy and push your advantage wherever you can, Abomasnow can definitely take you very high in the rating tiers. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, this next set, I'm gonna spoiler it. This one was not a 5-0. Had a little bit of I played quite poorly in some of the early games, and I think let this set be a lesson in, what do you call it, in tilt management, I guess, or how much mental attitude affects your play in GBL. So first game, we're gonna see the counter team to this team. It's Grasshole. So some of you guys might be thinking Justice, probably true. But spoilers, this team can really not beat Grasshole unless they decide to no shield their Victory Bell there. And even then, it's still kind of rough because Bastiodon versus Azumarill, and the 2 shield is not even that bad of a matchup. So I'm going to shield this Acid Spray because I thought it could be a Sludge Bomb. I really should have no shielded. But it doesn't really matter. This Bastiodon's going to be able to deal a ton of damage to my Abomasnow before my switch timer's up, because they're playing this properly. And shout out Torterra. So even more justice. This is the Grasshole team that I ran on stream a little while ago to kind of put it to bed. But the nerfs to Razor Leaf weren't that bad. I think Razor Leaf is still obviously a very good move. Grasshole's still viable, but Stunfisk does cause it some more issues than it used to. And I'm not even able to farm that Torterra down. So after losing to Grasshole, let's see how the rest of these games go. I feel like I was not in a very good headspace after that. And I remember specifically throwing a very one game in this set. I was pretty upset because the rest of the games were going so well. So I think it might have been this game even. I attempt to catch the Rock Slide. They don't bite, and I shield the Earthquake. So that's fine. Keeping Jellicent healthy is fine. If they had a Dark type, they would have swapped it in right away. So I don't mind spending this this energy here. I decided to no shield. This is a Psyshock, but guess what? Jellicent lives it. I honestly thought they were only at a Weather Ball, but nobody counts Charmers. But people might have to start doing it for Ninetales. So in this game, I'm going to go for an incredibly aggressive farm down. Unfortunately, I'm not going to quite get there before the Weather Ball, but I'm at 100 energy now. So this Galarian Stunfisk isn't really safe to swap into me anymore. Yeah, so I'm just going to throw Weather Ball after Weather Ball after Weather Ball. And unless they shield, okay, Pelipper comes in. That's fine. They thought they drained all my energy, but I still have another Weather Ball. So I'll throw that, and then I'll come in with Azu. This matchup is actually kind of close in the shields down, just because Hurricane is another pretty big move that comes off of same type of attack bonus, and these wing attacks add up. So it's not like anyone is throwing, or the only Pokemon throwing resisted damage is Azumarill's Bubble. And we're going to see how this matchup goes. Honestly, it might have been better here for the Pelipper to KO me. Just because I don't want to get farmed down by this Galarian Stunfisk. Yeah, so that was really poor play on my part. But luckily, my switch timer's back up, and I'm going to be able to get some Powder Snows in and tank this Rock Slide before I'm able to they're able to farm my Azu all the way down, and I'll win by 1 turn. So pretty close game that really shouldn't have been that close if I was playing a little bit better. And I think that also put me on tilt a little bit. It's like, oh, the win I got in this set is one where I feel like I made mistakes. Oh boy, yeah, Mew. So Mew is a Pokemon that is actually quite tough to deal with on this team, just because, well, most teams, you just never know what it's really running, right? So they let him move through. At this point, I kind of just figured it would be a Flame Charge, but they ended up baiting me. And the thing with double weakness teams is you kind of do need to keep your lead alive. So Skarmory comes out, and I'm going to swap into Jellicent. The thing is, I don't really have a good energy advantage on Abomasnow, and I have a shield disadvantage. Well, it's even now, but it's still not that great of a situation, even if I've taken out this Mew. The Mew did exactly what they wanted to do. They got it a shield advantage. So I'm adding another charge move, and I decide to use my last shield here, which is a bit risky. If I was going to do that, I probably should charge a little bit more on Jellicent. But it doesn't end up mattering, and see, so now shields are down. They're at a move, and I can't really bring in Abomasnow to farm down. And they come in with Scrafty, and I make, oh god, I don't even really want to talk about this game. So they make a good play, get the power up punch here, and to win they're going to need to get to 2 foul plays, which I outpaced them to. But because I'm really dumb, not only do I swap into Abomasnow, but I throw a Weather Ball instead of an Energy Ball. Actually, I probably would have made the Energy Ball anyways. And now they're at 2 foul plays. So I give them this free win, unfortunately. And I think after this point, we had a Grass Hole game. We had a game where I won that wasn't very well played. And then we have this game where I actively lost. And yeah, and then we have a bad lead. Sometimes you just need to take a break, and this just shows that. Honestly, I think it's a really understated part in Pokemon Go how much your mental state affects your gameplay. If you're tilted, you're not going to play well, right? So this just shows it. You see Toxicroak, I don't shield the Sludge Bomb, and you're going to see in a later game, I get baited. So I was not good at calling baits today. This Toxicroak game, I don't play very well. I'll play the next one better. But they're going to come in with Galarian Stunfisk. And that's the nice thing about this team. Galarian Stunfisk doesn't have an easy place to come in. Every Pokemon kind of deals with it, right? So you're not just going to get walled somewhere. Because that Pokemon is everywhere. Galarian Stunfisk is a little bit too strong, I think. Still, in my opinion. As someone who runs it. Yeah, and we're going to see an Earthquake come out. I'll shield the Earthquake because I've been burned by letting that Earthquake through too many times. I'm allowed to no shield 1 Rock Slide. And I know if they come in with Toxicroak, that they're just going to be able to farm me all the way down anyways. So that's why I no shield the Rock Slide there. But they still have a Pokemon in the back, and oh boy, fortunately it's Obstagoon. So yeah, this is an issue. If you notice in this game, I safe swapped the Azu. That's because there was a Toxicroak lead, and Jellicent deals with it much better than Azu. So the goal is to kind of get them to switch out, because Azu is more of a neutral matchup for Toxicroak. But Toxicroaks love to throw that Sludge Bomb instead, and either force the shields or whatever. But yeah, in this case, Jellicent isn't going to be able to deal with Obstagoon, but I'm just trying to see how much damage I can do. I haven't played this matchup before, so it's good to kind of learn how far both Pokemon can go. And they're going to take me out right before I get to that Ice Beam. So in this case, Bubble Beam probably would have been better, but Bubble Beam Ice Beam seems a bit weird to run. Definitely need that closing power of Shadow Ball versus stuff like Skarmory when you swap in on it. Let's see Deoxys lead. This is not a good lead either. And I swap into Azu. I don't know why I do that in this case. Jellicent and Azu have pretty similar matchups versus Deoxys, right? Like if Deoxys is running Thunderbolt, it's going to win either matchup. And it also beats the lead. So it's a bit tough. You can wear it down though. So like if you take shields down, the game is still winnable afterwards. But I think just with the way that I safe swapped in this game, I'm going to run into issues. And I really shouldn't have done this because the thing is, Abomasnow is not too bad into Deoxys if it has an energy advantage or if both Pokemon have a lot of energy on them. So in this case, I'm just going to commit to the farm down. This is what I kind of wanted in the first place, but unfortunately they do also squeak in the Thunderbolt. So, or no, sorry, the charge move. So Rock Slide in this case, and we'll see what they have in the back. Unfortunately, it's Umbreon, right? So also one of the harder counters to Jellicent. These Ice Beams are going to do absolutely nothing. I'm going to swap into Abomasnow. Luckily, it's a Pokemon that you do beat in the one shield, but it's not a Pokemon that you have very healthy. Look, another phone call, guys. I'm not going to edit it out. I'll let you guys know they're both spam numbers, or else the IRS is doing a very poor job, because that's who they say they are. So don't worry too much about that. They're also spoofed numbers, right? Those are numbers that are very similar to like my family's numbers, just so they're trying to get me to pick up. But now that that safety concern is out of the way, yeah, we'll go to the rest of this matchup. Yeah, this goes exactly how you would expect. Once again, I'm staying in just to test the waters. This is the first time Jellicent has met an Umbreon, so I'm just trying to see like how far I can get it down before it takes me down. This will be useful information later. I'll give him the satisfaction. I won't just quit out. So 1-4 set, not too great, but I think you guys saw me lose some games, not on purpose, but yeah, this is the tilt screen right here. This is like the what is happening screen. But yeah, you definitely got to see some of the weaknesses of this team, which I think is good, right? If I had cut out this set, even because of dropping a couple turns, or just poor play, you guys wouldn't have been able to see how this team has to deal with adversity. So here we go, redemption, right? Deoxys lead. This time I make the proper swap into Jellicent. I'm going to tank the Thunderbolt just because you don't know what they have coming in. But I'm going to throw a Shadow Ball. And so this is the advantage of Jellicent versus Azumarill, is that the move that you get to in 5 moves is Shadow Ball. It's not Ice Beam, right? Shadow Ball does way more damage. I charge up only a little bit because I'm kind of scared they're running Psycho Boost. And at this point, a Psycho Boost would KO. And I'm actually going to get to this Shadow Ball, this third Shadow Ball, before they even get to the third Thunderbolt. So I have shield advantage and switch advantage now. So this might have been what happened in the last game, except just kidding. What would have happened was they would have come in with Umbreon and destroyed my Jellicent. I'm going to have to shield the Sky Attack off of this Altaria, and they swap into Azu. So in this case, I know my Azu can already deal with their Altaria. I just have to deal with this Azu of their own. I'm going to swap and catch. I just built up to a Weather Ball to be safe, just in case something funky happens. And it also to kind of let them know, hey, I've kind of got you countered. You can leave and save us a little bit of time in the Azumarill and then the Altaria Azu game. So Toxicroak lead. Have I learned from my... This is the redemption set, right? These are the same bad leads I lost to last set. I'm going to swap into Toxicroak. I'm going to shield this slut. Just kidding. It's going to be a Mud Bomb. I can never call a bait, but they're going to swap into their Azu. So this is not too bad of a situation. The thing is, if I can get Azu low enough with my own Azu, both Abomasnow and Jellicent can really benefit from this farm down, as they both resist the primary moves of Azu. Sorry, like the big moves of Hydro Pump, which is the only really threatening thing that Azu has, and they can both easily tank a Play Rough. So in this situation, I am going to barely get to this last Play Rough. I know I already spent a shield on a Mud Bomb, but luckily I'm going to get that shield back, and it's farm down time. So here's the reason I come in with Abomasnow. So Abomasnow, or Jellicent already beats Toxicroak. Abomasnow with an energy advantage, with 100 energy, is going to beat Toxicroak too. So I get to 100 energy, and I don't want to spend that shield. So I'm going to swap and catch this charge move. I know they're not going to be bringing Toxicroak into Jellicent, so they'll be bringing whatever else they have in anyways. They already have switch advantage, so I don't really care swapping there to catch the move. Definitely would rather save the shield, and they are just going to shield up. I shield as well. I've been baited. This guy does not... I feel like he's only running one move on each of his Pokemon. He's just running Mud Bomb and Rock Slide, because that's all people throw nowadays. It's extremely frustrating. Just kidding. There's the Earthquake. But it's not going to matter. I'm going to... Oh, yeah. So this is the problem. I'm already at 100 energy on Abomasnow. So throwing this is kind of unfortunate. I try and undercharge, but Abomasnow just hits too hard. And luckily this Toxicroak has no shields anymore, right? So I'm just going to get to the second Weather Ball, third Weather Ball, finish off this Toxicroak. So that's the name of this game on this team, right? Like same with the Deoxys matchup. If Abomasnow has a poor matchup versus Deoxys, it doesn't have a poor matchup if it has 100 energy, right? So you just have to find that spot to farm down and bring a ton of energy into the next matchups, and you can turn these. So this is 2 bad leads already, right? 2 awful leads in this set. I don't know if there's many more. I don't really remember. Mew is I can't really call this a bad or a good lead because you never know what's coming in, but they swap into Skarmory, so I'm assuming at this point it's Surf Wild Charge because I don't think you make that play otherwise. So this is, I've kind of adapted. This is called learning your matchups to the Skarmory matchup, right? So this time I just farmed up a ton on Abomasnow, and I didn't throw any moves because the Shadow Ball is going to get it into Hex range anyways. So the Weather Ball damage would have been kind of wasted. I don't mind shielding here, especially because I thought it was a Brave Bird. And I'm going to just, or I thought it could be a Brave Bird. I wasn't really counting. And I'm going to be able to farm all the way down. Mew's going to come back in, and it's really not going to appreciate a Shadow Ball, right? And the thing with Mew is, even though it's hitting with super effective Shadow Claws, the Hex damage adds up, and it deals, or they have to shield the Shadow Ball, otherwise it's just not going to be good. And they actually swap into Scrafty to catch this Weather Ball. So yet another redemption game. Here we go, Scrafty versus Azu. This time the switch timer is locked, so I can't screw this up, even if I try my best. They're just going to Power Punch. I know I don't need to shield anything on this Azu. I want to save the shields for Mew, just because Mew might be running Wild Charge. And even if it is, I don't really care. If a Wild Charge is my Azu, then I'll be able to Powder Snow it down. So they're kind of in a bit of a predicament. I'm saving my shield for Abomasnow versus Mew. And there's nothing they can really do about it. It's a pretty good feeling. So we'll consider that a 1 lead, I guess, just because they're likely running Surf Wild Charge. But with Mew and Abomasnow, you kind of have to shield if they go to the Flame Charge anyways. This is because of the threat of it. It's what makes Mew such a powerful Pokemon. So I'm going to charge up. Same thing. Look, Skarmory lead playing the exact same way. I'm charge up a little bit, switch to Jellicent, and because otherwise it would be overkill, right? And this player swaps their Azu into Jellicent. This is perfectly fine for me, especially with an energy advantage. I'm either going to be able to force a shield or take this Azu incredibly low enough to get a ton of energy on with Shadow Abomasnow. So we'll see what I do here. I actually shield. Because in this case, I recognize that I can farm all the way down, and this shield is going to end up getting me another charge move, which is probably going to be able to burn a shield, right? So I'm going to throw this Shadow Ball at Skarmory. And this guy is saving his shields for next game, because I'm going to throw another Shadow Ball. I think they're trying to farm me all the way down, but it's just a bit of a rough situation. They CMP time me, which I'll gladly take. And then I am going to choose which Pokemon to farm down with. I have to figure out which Pokemon I would rather have energy on. Most of the time, it is Abomasnow, but I think Abomasnow would have taken quite a bit of damage from Sky attacks. I'll show the first one. This time it is a Rock Slide. I'm not just getting baited. And it's time to just play roughs. But yeah, at this point, my most valuable Pokemon is Azu, so I did consider swapping again, but you know what? That might have lost me the game, so good thing I didn't. Just have to get these play roughs off and then not get farmed down by Skarmory. So I tried to swap right away and missed my button, but that's okay. I have a Weather Ball stored up from the beginning anyways, right? So this is why storing your energy is very important, of course. All right, I think this next game is the last game. Maybe there's 2 more. I haven't really been counting, but so Drifblim lead. This is absolutely a great lead, and they're gonna come with Stunfisk. So this is really good too because it means they probably don't have a good answer for Abomasnow, which means they're probably gonna throw right away. So I'm gonna catch on Azu. In hindsight, it's rough. Azu versus Jellicent swapping in here is kind of rough. Yeah, I feel like I got baited every time, and I'm gonna throw a Hydro Pump. I just want shields down. And somehow they shield this too. Most Stunfisk don't shield. Just because if it's Ice Beam, you want to no shield that, and then you still get the Earthquake off. But this guy just throwing straight Rock Slides. Like, I'm not going to fall for that bait again. They're going to swap out, and luckily, I went for the bait of my own on this Stunfisk and went for the Play Rough, and they swap and catch a Play Rough on Azu. This is a great situation for me. Like I said, these Azumirs, they usually end with one Azu low enough that I'm going to be able to farm it down. Or they're going to have to blow a shield and I'm going to win switch, right? So it's win-win for me because my team does benefit so much from farming down. I'm going to come in with a Jellicent. And so this is the same reasoning as before, right? Drifblim in the back. Drifblim does not threaten Abomasnow. Drifblim threatens Jellicent. But does Drifblim threaten Jellicent with 100 energy? No, it does not. Not at all. Drifblim can absolutely not come in on either of my Pokemon now. And this is the tough situation I've put them into. And they realize that, right? Like, they realized it a little bit too late. Drifblim has to come in here because it's useless against Abomasnow. But I'm just going to take it out. I don't even really care about swapping to Abomasnow for the Weather Balls. I'll swap at the very end just because I don't want it to get to a move versus my Jellicent. But yeah, their Stunfisk will come back in. Has a Rock Slide, but Rock Slide is not enough to KO, even especially with the nerf. And yeah, they're just gonna GG out there. So yeah, I guess this is a lesson. Maybe I'll make a video about it too. It's about flipping matchups with energy advantage, making it so that certain Pokemon on their team they don't have plays anymore with shield advantage and energy advantage. But it's tough to kind of vocalize thoughts about that. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this kind of content, hit that subscribe button. I'll be streaming today later, so Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST. I don't know if I will be showcasing this team yet, or if I will be doing some team building experiments with Shadow Gardevoir instead. That'll be up to you guys. I'm gonna put a Twitter poll up, I think, after this to see what people want to see. Normally I don't have this much success in just the 2 days before between Sunday and Wednesday to make videos, but I do have I had two videos coming out, so yeah, we'll have to have a poll on it instead. I guess it's a good problem to have. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching.